Hi, Elisa. We're going to stay muted until we're live.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Can you hear us, Elisa?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right, we're set then.
Thank you.
All right. So good evening and welcome to the public and March Public Safety General Government Committee meeting. And on Wednesday, March the 22nd, it is now 6:37. And we have present Alderman Mike Oliveri, all the women, Naima Muhammad, and all the women, Michelle Hurst, and myself, the chair, Alderman Tony Davis. And so we're going to get going on here. At least I'm not sure if we have someone representing the CAC for an update. Out in.
I don't see anybody here. I didn't send the link to anybody, so I don't have anyone.
No problem. Catch it next week then. So we have a short agenda then, and we'll speed through this, and we have another meeting after this, but speed through, so it shouldn't be really anything. And so, Chief, you want to get your update next first? So, I apologize that you didn't see it on the agenda. I forgot to have that added, and it was a last minute addition. But we're going to have Chief Tenti here from the Kingston Police Department and Lieutenant Osterhaus. I didn't know what his title was. So, and they're here to talk to us about vehicle traffic enforcement and give us an update.
Yeah, so, thank you.
Thank you guys for coming.
No, thank you to the Common Council for the funding and the support. The reason I have Lieutenant Bernie Osterhaus with me is I put him, make him responsible, I guess you can say, to oversee the traffic enforcement detail, both on the Broadway streetscape and in the other areas of Kingston that have been problematic. He's been part of the Safe Streets presentations all along, so he's well aware of it. Has always been interested, right, with the VT, stop and drive programs. So he was a good fit for it. So we did, and I'll kind of start off, and if you don't mind filling in when you can, that'd be great. But certainly for us, we had once the program was funded, we sat with a group of individuals that we wanted, volunteers from our agency, officers that wanted to do it and wanted to do it for the right reasons. It wasn't about the enforcement itself. It really was a mix between enforcement and the education. Right? We recognize the new traffic patterns and writing tickets doesn't always serve the purpose of correcting the behavior, right? So really sometimes people just need, hey, you know what you did back there, don't do it again type of thing. In some cases, tickets are needed, but I think overall, when she showed the numbers, I think we're showing a relatively decent balance. It is a challenge. Certainly, it's not just a regular thing. We got the bike track, the parking lane, and especially on Broadway, Wilbur Avenue, Hurley Avenue, now with the shared road situation. It hasn't been so bad right now because of the weather, right, cold and stuff, but we anticipate a larger increase coming forward with more bikes, more pedestrians and so on. So we have obviously handled a couple of accidents that involve cyclists and pedestrians. In all those cases, anytime there's substantial injury or fatality, that we call the county in to do the reconstruction of that as well. So the investigation falls on that part of it. But we use those as motivators to make sure that we're putting the resources out we need to address them. So if you have the numbers.
Yeah, so as the chief said, we have several officers that are interested, because that's how we ask for people that were interested in doing the enforcement and education piece of the traffic enforcement. The month of February, we conducted about 224 traffic stops. And of that, there was 138 traffic tickets issued.
100 what?
138 traffic tickets, some of which were related to traffic accidents, some that were just regular B&T vehicle and traffic violations. There were 45 warnings, 45 motorists that were given warnings. And with the warnings, we're encouraging a little bit of education piece with it. Okay. So they understand why we stopped them, what the reasoning, the issues that can result from what they may or may not have done, and what we're doing to prevent it. There were also 3 arrests in both months as a result of traffic stops. There were 6 arrests, 2 of which yielded firearms. Another one that was narcotics related, and 2 were just warrants, and another one was suspending bikes into the violation bin or not. So basically, being behind it.
Is that better? This is better.
It does.
All right, okay.
So, and for the month of March, so far to date, we've had 70 stops. We've had a much busier month with other things. So I believe that's where, that and with the snow, we tend to have less vehicle and traffic enforcement going on. Of those 70, there's 65 tickets issued, but still 48 warnings. So some motorists obviously have multiple tickets. But there were 48 warnings, 48. And again, incorporating education. And like I said, 3 arrests in March, 3 arrests in February. I think the importance of that is what the arrests were for. Just a simple traffic stop leads us to.
So February had 3 arrests, not 6.
February, I'm sorry, it was 6 total. February was 3 and March was 3.
So in addition to that, we just completed essentially a bid process purchasing with Billy Hansel from the Kingston Cyclery. We'll be picking up 10 mountain bikes for the bike patrol. We recognize that also the officers that are interested in this detail are also bike certified. We plan on sending a few more to a local bike school at the Sorries, we hosted it. And we're going to try to get them in that curriculum, in that class as well. But the bikes will certainly offer another opportunity, more on the ground than just patrol car, right? More unit, the ability to move through the streets and stuff. We still haven't figured out or if the e-bike will fit into it. I know there was funding enough in last year's budget, right, to the police department for mountain bikes and potentially 2 e-bikes. We're still working through the logistics of the e-bikes. There are some concerns about the charging and the use of it. During the bike class, to be honest with you, they throw the bike sometimes. They're taught to use the bike that way, right? There's no other mechanism. It's not like they have a car from the fence. So sometimes they put it between them, sometimes they have to toss it. We just don't want to be tossing a $3,000, $4,000 electric e-bike. So we're working through that. I do believe it has its place. We're looking for it. I guess initially our initial cost was about $2,500. We're coming a little bit higher than that. So I have to really kind of sit down and weigh whether or not we can get 1 or 2 regular bikes for the cost of 3 regular bikes for the cost of an e-bike. Like I said, I don't understand they serve a purpose. I think it would be great. A good look for the police department, really be happy to have officers on that. But operationally, we just have to look at the funding for it. So, but yeah, I mean, we certainly keep that in mind once we have it. We put it.
So 10 mountain bikes and maybe possible 2 e-bikes.
Yes, correct. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
And with the bike, as the chief was saying, it's some of the same officers. So our hopes are to use them again for primarily the educational piece with the biking community, relate to them better.
Yeah.
As opposed to a patrol car pulling to a bicycle. Another officer with a bicycle approaching them, they could explain, hey, that's not where we're supposed to turn here, as well as we are with cars.
So we track this enforcement detail a little bit differently. I know that officers have told me that they've already given warnings to on routine patrol, regular patrol function without being assigned to both pedestrians and cyclists for riding on the sidewalk with the bike, walking across the crosswalk type of thing. And again, we have really stressed the education. Listen, it's a new pattern, but at some point we are going to step it up. And you may see pedestrians being issued summons for a violation. So we try not to go that route, but if necessary. But yeah, so far so good. It looks like it's working. We have a good group of officers that are active. I think that we just, if you haven't heard, we just hired 3 more to fill the vacancies that were open. Hopefully they'll start soon. You still have to go through some conditional employment testing, but they look good. Very good candidates.
Any questions, Michelle?
So does this data also go to the crime analysis person that we have?
Yes.
So they're like tracking
Absolutely.
any patterns and
Yeah, they usually, Darian Morley, who's our crime analyst at the CAC in Orange County, is here 2 days a week. And every 3rd Tuesday of the month, she does a presentation, both for our agency, other local agencies, the sheriff's office, probation, and so on. And she delivers it with representatives from the Division of Criminal Justice Services because her position is funded through the state. So that way she does incorporate, the Broadway corridor, and not just, traffic, but any type of criminal related stuff as well. So calls for service, intimate partner violence calls, essentially Kingston's most wanted, if there was such a thing. So I'm trying not to leave anything out. She's very thorough with the presentation, but it's good because at that same meeting, the agencies, the sheriff's office, the state police are able to really look at this information and share that data and leave there knowing, hey, listen, if you come across this person, you're looking for them, pay.
So in regards to that, is it possible to find out like how the cameras are doing? I know that you said it's hard to quantify preventative, right?
Yes.
But do we have, where they are working, or we have been able to solve crimes?
Yes,
People
so
ask me that all the time.
Yeah,
so-
and I have to tell you, I wish I had one on every corner. Even today, I won't say personal level, it wasn't a personal issue, but someone reached out to me. It was an accident that was being handled by another agency. It wasn't us, because when they called me, I said, we have no record of our officers handling this. And they said, no, it was this agency, but it appears as the car may have left the city of Kingston between this time frame. So I contacted Officer Arciello, he's in charge of our camera program. He immediately brought up his laptop, he was in class, he brought up his laptop and was able to, within that 2-hour window, identify 2 potential vehicles that may, based upon the initial description of the witness, be the ones that were involved in this incident. So in the past, we obviously would not have that data. And it really is a combination of both the camera systems and the license plate readers. The license plate readers currently are stationed at just about every exit or entrance to the city, almost everyone, where the cameras are obviously placed for it. So we still haven't deployed the 10 new cameras that were budgeted for the 23 budget yet. We're working out some logistics with the company. There is some supply shortages going on with them, so we're waiting for parts to come in. But I have to tell you, every year I'm gonna be asking for at least.
So that brings us to 38,
That will bring us to 40 cameras.
40, okay.
Yeah, 40 cameras. Yeah, we have moved, I want to say 4, it might be 6, but I know we've moved at least 4 cameras from the location that they were at to other locations based upon incidents that have happened and really driven by the shootings.
Okay.
A number of times where shots were fired, I shouldn't say shootings, but shots were fired, where Darian will meet with our detective Lieutenant Patabono and say, hey, here's a gap. We think this is where the car went through, we didn't catch it. Somehow they got out. Here's a void, and we'll immediately, and because of the ease of movement, we contact Pat Keplinger, who's the city electrician. He goes up with the bucket truck, move it over, they reprogram it, and away they go. So it really had been an unbelievable resource for us. The ease of access, both in the detective division and dispatch, the fact that Jeremy and or IT can bring them up like that, 24 hours a day. They do have storage capability. A lot of it depends on the level of traffic that they're picking up, right? Clearly, they're always recording. And then with license plate readers, that data is saved for, I want to say, minimum of 30 days. And they do tie into other LPRs, license plate readers in the county. It's not intrusive. People really, it's all public view, so it's not like there's any expectation of privacy. We're not, people shouldn't be like, well, they shouldn't do that. Well, they can. I can take my phone out right now and take pictures of everybody here. And you may not like it, right? We tell our officers all the time, you have a camera on. If people at the scene start recording you, they're allowed to. You can't prevent that.
Yeah.
So.
So what kind of data would you be looking for from this? That's what I
Well,
was-
people just were asking, like, are they working? Is it helping? Is it,
All right.
But
Yeah.
definitely, it's resource, even at the patrol level.
Yeah.
We'll get a call for a hit and run accident. And the dispatcher will pull up that to see if we can see the car leaving. It's helped our solvability rate. Things are just, I believe.
And I personally know of 2 accidents on Broadway that were hit and run involving the city pole, especially new light poles, thousands of dollars. And had we not had the cameras in place, there was no witnesses, it happened late at night. And we were able to track the motion and find those 2 vehicles that were responsible. At least now we can, listen, the pole got damaged, right?
Yeah.
But the fact is that we can get reimbursed the cost of the insurance. So they have, it's an investment. I recognize that. I know that it wasn't always an easy decision because of the concern for privacy. I recognize that as well. But people, I think that balance that we always strive for, right? The privacy concerns, freedoms of the public versus the safety of the public. So I think we found definitely a good balance on that. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, my bringing that question forward was not, a negative. in any
Oh, no,
way.
absolutely.
No, I just was like trying to put down like on my notes.
Yeah, just people are
what that
curious,
is.
if they want them to work, they're
Yeah.
hoping they work and.
Yeah. And again, non-intrusive, right? It's
Right.
not, there's no officer that's stopping them, there's no flashing that takes pictures of people, it just records all the time. We have identified at least 6 other intersections we need them for, again, that will be part of the 10 cameras we currently are budgeted for. But if we can continue to expand the program, the company WCCTV has been incredible to work with. Anytime there's a problem, whether IT, Kyle McIntosh, or one of the staff members sees it, because they're always checking the cameras to make sure they're working, right?
Mhm.
Work. We've had some issues with power supplies.
The weather, like they're holding up and
There's,
cold ones real.
yeah, no problem. We can certainly design that way. I think they have heaters built into the camera systems. We do have, on occasion, we did have one shot. It did not appear to be on purpose, but it was, and this was a year ago, I think it was when I first put it on. Because we caught the video of the incident that we were investigating, and then it stopped, and the camera just stopped recording. So we sent somebody out there, and sure enough, and the company was great. They came down, they replaced the camera immediately, recovered all the data off the drive, and we were able to actually get a lot of evidence off that camera, so. But, yeah, it is a great thing, and like I said, the ease of access, right, our dispatchers have it right there. If somebody calls in and says the car just hit
Trained
me,
out, yeah.
yeah, it's very nice.
And those pole accidents, they would never be solved.
No.
Right.
And in these cases, the city would have had that money, right? They would have still had to replace it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'd be happy to talk about it anytime, really. I mean, if you're, any type of, we should probably have Jeremy start tracking the solvability part of it.
Yeah, if we get this I'm sorry, Naeem, any questions? Mike, any more?
No,
If we get this, yeah, that's like on a regular basis, and I'll try to remind myself, we don't want you coming here every month. That we can do it like every 3 months or something like that, just get some update of what's going on. And just so, we can present that to our constituents if they're asking about what's going on. And then the public can also hear, that'd be great. So I'll just try to remember, like, just have you come back like every 3 months and just give us an update.
So if you have a minute, I'll update you on one other thing. So with that, we just got the mini bid back for 4 patrol cars. Council approved the purchase of 4 cars. We had 4 cars on order January of 22. They are slated to be delivered end of April. I'm more conservative. I think middle of May is probably what we're looking at. So about a year and a half almost that we had these cars on order. Supply chain, it just happened. But I work with purchasing agent Brian Wallman. We've been sending out mini bids pretty regularly, weeks at a time. Hopefully someone bites. And today, this morning, Geneseo Ford actually bid on those 4 cars. It's a little bit more money than what we had budgeted for, but we are going to stick with the Ford hybrid utility all-wheel drives. So we're looking at both the 4 we had this year, and there was still money left out of the bond in 22 to purchase 1 more vehicle. So we'll have 5. It's setting us back on the vehicle maintenance because we still have to get these cars. We talk about it every week at command staff, how it's difficult because, and my reply is, oh, they're having trouble with the cars? What do I tell them? Walk them, get them on the street, walk them.
We'll have 10 more
What
bikes.
It's getting warm.
The whole bike. So we're
It's not all kidding aside, we usually got, we're putting people out walking any day now, so.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
but yeah,
absolutely.
car doesn't work?
Yeah, we had unfortunate, we had that incident where they found the young woman on the Linear Park. We've stepped up patrols there. And we have in the past, we've always looked, it's just, it's a lot of coverage, right? When you talk about for your shift, you're responsible for the afternoon, evening shift. I've got 6 officers on a minimum, have to patrol. It's a lot of city, right, traffic. So the details, the overtime, and more recently, the amount of manpower that was involved in the movies that.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I'm sorry, I had a question about that. Somebody caught my ear yesterday when I was up for dinner. The movie company reimburses
Yes,
the law enforcement for,
they reversed the city.
they reimburse
Oh,
us.
yeah,
Okay,
everything.
all right, so at least we got that here, because it was like, oh, well, is the city getting paid for that? And I was like, I didn't know the exact figure, but I said, I believe the city's getting paid as well as, well, law enforcement.
So there's a dollar figure that the controller calculates, that includes the vehicle, the time, social security benefit, all the benefits, retirement, and so on. And then our budget, you're gonna see transfer requests coming from my agents, from my department, asking for, here's the revenue line that John Tooley will be putting in, increase, and here's where the expenditures are. So you'll see it real time going on, right? But we have expended a tremendous amount of overtime to the end machine. So the companies, they don't even ask, they're just like, we need it, right? We gotta protect the scene, what's the cost? So, but yesterday they did have, obviously, saw that there was some traffic backup around
Broadway.
35 o'clock timeframe in front of Ames where they were shooting.
I heard
Yeah, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sitting out.
Yeah, so it does catch us sometimes, but yeah, we work great with them and, usually Roy from the mayor's office is great about putting out the executive orders. We know exactly when this stuff is gonna happen. We coordinate with the movie company. They have, I guess, an agent that works with us and we set it all up, put out the overtime requests, fill it and move forward with it. So,
Yeah, I mean, this is popular for some, at least
It
for
is, it's great.
yeah, movie shows, so, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that you got the barriers into. I saw
yes,
it on-
so
Yeah.
another excellent update was, again, funded through the council. The mayor, the 160,000 was put towards 18 of those mobile vehicle barriers, plus the trailer
Right.
that can move 9 at a time, plus the cable system.
Okay.
And we opted to add one more dolly, so we have 2 officers moving in at the same time. But they're 700 pounds, these things are
Each,
unbelievable.
I didn't realize each one was.
Each one is 700 pounds. You can't move them without this device. And if you look at it, it's just a simple lever.
Yeah.
And you just pick it up and move it and, it's got wheels on it. It's good on blacktop or grass. I imagine they would probably sink a little bit, but they're designed for roadway use. And they offer a level of protection you just can't find through either wooden barricades or, in the past, we've had DPW trucks, something as a barrier to protect the public from particular traffic. So they're not intrusive. People can walk past them, bikes can get through them, cars, if we spread them apart, we have a 14-foot cable that goes in between them, so we can unlatch it, let vehicles and emergency personnel go through. And if a vehicle does hit that cable, these barricades are designed to wrap around, these barriers are designed to wrap around the car. If you haven't seen it, you gotta look at the videos. It is absolutely unbelievable. You look at it and you can't think there's much engineering to it. You just say, oh, yes, big plate of steel, right? But when you see the video of cars hitting it and how it actually stops the vehicle from going any further, trucks, these big trucks just barrel into this thing. And once it hits, it kind of catches the truck. And it's just amazing how it really
Yeah,
shapes.
looking at pictures now.
Yeah, yeah, Meridian barrier, yeah, it's crazy, the Archer 1200s, I think they're. And like I said, easy to move, we keep 9 on the trailer at all times, the other 9 are stationary. And then we have the pickup truck, one of those pickup trucks, tows it out, 2 officers unload, one takes the truck back, loads up the other 9, while the other one's setting up. So they're easy, we plan on using them at just about every event that's necessary where vehicles and pedestrians can be in the same locations.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, they're a little prettier than the big truck sitting in there.
Yeah, we got the city seals on, we
Yeah.
bought the additional matching spray paint for a couple of touch-ups here and there. And again, it couldn't be possible without the support. I recognize that, we rely on you to support everything we're doing and guide us in what this community wants, right? Those are the constituents, and for us to support that information gets back.
So where do they store that? DPW?
Right down at our headquarters,
All right.
yeah, right down at headquarters, yeah.
That's so when they have to be brought out, DPW has to come down with their trucks, no, you
No,
guys.
we have,
Okay.
yeah, we have an old, used to be used for emergency services, it's a 19, I don't know what it is, an old picture, and, but it runs great, we have a cap on it, it's locked, they keep all the traffic cones and everything in it, it's designed to be a traffic truck now, and they just hook it up, pull it and go. So, we're trying to streamline it because it can be used for, obviously it can be used for emergencies, we want to be able to deploy it during emergencies. Any type of incident where we will need to divert traffic and protect pedestrians, we gotta have that. So, yeah, no one's moving this. Like, I've got big guys, I really got big guys doing this stuff, and I'm telling you, you can't budget. One person with this thing can roll it around everywhere. If it's off that dolly, you can't, nothing, 700, and it's designed to grab that asphalt. It's unbelievable, really.
So I can get it up when it's done.
So the trailer itself, so normally the trailer is set on axles, so it's high, you got a ramp. They designed this trailer on a hydraulic system that the entire center platform lowers to the ground. So the only ramp is maybe this much, that much of a ramp. And the whole bed, when you pull a hydraulic lever and the whole bed, with all 9 of them on there, comes right up, locks in place, and you drive off with it. The tires are solid, so it doesn't carry weight, there's no suspension to it really, but yeah, both the lieutenant and I have equipment at home. We both eye that thing, man, that would be nice to, nice to put a mini excavator on that, that would be pretty good. But it's nice, it's an expensive package, we recognize 160,000 is a big investment, but I also recognize the council sees the value to it when it comes to protecting the public, right? This truly is a lifetime investment. There's no reason why these things can't
It
last.
should not fall apart.
They're not, you're absolutely right, right? The trailer's very low maintenance, a couple of grease points here and there. And, it would be nice if we have it covered for a lot of our equipment, but we'll take it at this point. When the winter comes, I told these guys, we'll buy a big tarp, cover it, and just try to keep some of the snow off of it. But, no, it's great, absolutely great. All right, you might see a request for 9 more.
Thank you again. Any more questions?
No.
Thank you again.
I just wanted to add one thing as I was thinking, when the chief was talking, is if you, through your neighborhoods here, specific areas, I'll give you my extension and just call me directly. It's 943-5722.
722. All right.
That way, if I know specific areas being talked about, with an officer there.
Thank you.
Yeah, we always get calls, the trains come down, they're flying down Fan Street, Farley across Farley.
Yeah.
We get it, right? We get it. I get it. We get it.
Yeah, they're kind of flying around.
Yeah.
Come on, 2 wheels coming around
Yeah.
sometimes, yeah. Try to beat. I'll definitely give you a corner. I got some spots. Thank you again. Thank you. Thank you.
Have a good night.
All right. So, at least I just want to know if we had anybody from CAC before we keep on moving.
No, we don't, Tony. I'm sorry.
What you said?
No.
No. All right, so we can probably just move right through these other 3 items on here. We got a request for ADA signage from Alderman Shabbat at location at 70 Broadway. And I got the placard card here, so it looks like everything's up to date. And so do I have a motion? Do I have a second? Michelle Hurst, we don't need, the discussion on this. All in favor? All right. Anyone opposed? No. Nobody's here. Sign for it. I'll pass this around and it just says see attached. So it says add 88 signs at 70 Broadway, see attached. So they can see, right. Yeah. Okay, yeah. The next one is add 88 signage at 48 Van Buren Street. And see attached, constituent of mine requesting handicap parking sign be placed in front of a resident at 48 Van Buren Street. And again, the placard's here, it's up to date. So, and can I have a motion?
Motion.
Come on. Yeah.
Second, Naima? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, anybody opposed? All right. Boom.
Sherry's carrying.
And the other one, I got a note here, I don't have the placard with it, it came from, and President Shao, please include this for more, constituent requesting the AD parking spot at 131 O'Neill Street. And I know that's not, I believe from my conversation where that's obviously not her word that, and somebody reached out to her, so she just put it in. And so I got the thing here, to add 88 signage at 131 O'Neill Street. And between now and next regular common council and meeting and caucus, and we should get the updated placard for that. And so we can make sure that we're in compliance with this and that we have updated and handicap parking stick. So we have a motion.
Second.
And All in favor? Anyone opposed? I think so. Look at that, boom. Pass this around. Just gotta make sure I remember to see Andrew. Speak to Andrew about this. That being said, there is nothing else on the agenda for tonight unless somebody else has something to say. Can we have a motion to end? Dismiss, and
Motion, second.
second by Michelle Hurst, motion by Michael Oliveri, everybody in favor?
Aye.
Anybody against? So this meeting came in at 7:07. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you at the next regular monthly public safety and general government meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.